bitmap, and vector graphic editing applications on the market. The most popular one is Adobe Photoshop, and I'll be using it in this segment to illustrate some graphic ideas. However, for basic editing, those of you on Macintosh can use Apple iPhoto, and those of you on Windows can use Microsoft Paint. Additionally, there's a program called Picasa, which is an internet application available from Google that can help you to organize, edit, and share photographs and other images. And Picasa does have several advanced photo editing features that you can use. But let's take a look at what we mean by a graphic image. Here is an image I used earlier in the broadcast. The image was originally captured as a screen dump, and what that means is taking a picture of your screen. And the way that I did that on the Mac was Open Apple Shift 4, and then I was able to have a picture of it. If I were using Windows, there's actually a key on your keyboard called Print Screen. And if you press that key, a picture is taken of the image and it is saved to your clipboard, and you can go into something like Paint and do Edit Paste, and then you'll have a copy of your screen. I'll go into that more detail in a future episode. But the point is, I was able to capture this as a screen dump. Screen dumps typically are 72 dots per inch resolution. And this image was originally used in a book that I wrote, so I had to make sure that it was high quality. And so I took it into Photoshop and I increased the resolution to 288 dots per inch. And I also made it the color CMYK, which is the appropriate color format for images that are going to be printed. Well, now for this broadcast, I wanted to change it. I wanted it to be an image that I would show on a screen. So this time I had to go the other way. So the first thing I did was I converted it from CMYK to RGB. RGB is the correct color format if it's going to be an image viewed on a screen. And that could be your computer, or that could be a television screen for that matter. The next thing I needed to do was, since I had made it such a high resolution, I didn't need a high resolution given that you were going to see it on a screen. So I changed it from 288 to 72 dots per inch, which is sufficient resolution for the vodcast. We'll talk more about different resolutions, including high definition resolutions, in a future broadcast as well. So now I had it. It was the correct resolution and it was the correct color format, but now I needed to look at the size of it. And so as you can see here in Photoshop, I'm able to easily change the size, be it inches or pixels, and the image upgrades, if you will, or increases in size and still retains most of its high quality. There are also numerous tools available in Photoshop for editing. If you are using a different program, then different tools will be available, but most will work in a similar manner. So if you have an eraser in Photoshop, the eraser in any other program will work in a similar manner. Now, notice we are using Photoshop, and I do professional work, therefore I pay the big bucks and get Photoshop, but Photoshop Elements is a very good, less expensive option for those of you who like to move one step up from iPhoto and Paint, and the features that we describe here will basically work in Photoshop Elements. Now, the first tool we'll take a look at is actually the eraser. So notice we click on the eraser in the toolbar, we go over to the picture, we drag a bit, and the area that we drag over is actually erased. The second tool we'll look at in terms of our beginning set here is the Select tool. So we click on the Select tool, we click, drag to highlight one area of the picture, and now, much like word processing, we can cut, Then we can copy, cut or copy, and then we can paste. So you can actually cut and remove it from the picture. You can copy and make a copy of it so the original remains there. And in either case, you can paste it somewhere else, either in this picture or in another. Lastly, in terms of this intro, we'll look at the crop tool. Now, we have already selected an area. We go up to the menu, select crop, and now we are left with just the area that we have selected.